What's going on, everybody? Kwaku here. It is like 10 in the morning as of me recording this, and most of you know I don't record stuff until like way in the evening, but I just got off the flight about last night, passed out, so that's why there's no video really today. But I wanted to do an update video just to draw a path, a timeline of events of what's to come next on the channel for the end of the year and going into 2020, I believe 2022. Just because it's been a while since I've been able to sit in this seat. It's been almost 3 weeks and it feels so comfortable sitting down in my usual setup, which again will be changing again at the end of the year, which I'll tell you about later on. But I wanted to draw some events that are going to be happening, some updates on the channel, some updates on what to come next in terms of content on the channel. So let's get into it. So the first thing that I wanted to get into is, I'm sure most of you who have followed this channel for over the past year of me doing this, you've noticed lately, for the past couple of months, I haven't really done app reviews for a while, pretty much since Windows 11's release. There were not many apps that looked eye-catching and that I had discovered. But now I'm starting to see more and more apps that are coming out. Launch 2021 for the UWP community just ended, and there's a bunch of apps on that list that made it really big on there that I'm going to look at later on in the channels, like in the timeline of the channel. So there might be one maybe this week, maybe next week, who knows. But I'm looking at those apps that came for launch 2021, those major apps. One reason why I didn't look at a lot of apps recently is also because with Windows 11's release coming and Windows 11's beta that's currently happening now, I wanted to get apps that were designed around Windows 11, not apps that were designed for Windows 10, even though there's nothing wrong with Windows 10. My other PC is still running Windows 10, but Windows 11, I wanted things that look and feel good with Windows 11. So if you get Windows 11 on October 5th, you know that these apps from the Microsoft Store are going to look in tandem, rather, with Windows 11's design, with rounded corners and updated UI, updated WinUI icon assets and all that stuff. So I'm looking at apps that look like they were actually designed in mind with Windows 11's current design style. Another thing is going away from the app side of things. I'm going into hardware more as well on the channel in the future. I have a major video coming up featuring the Surface Duo. I haven't looked at Surface Duo in almost a year. Surface Duo 2 is probably going to launch on Microsoft's Surface event in, was it September 22nd? So actually stay tuned for that, because that is also scheduled to go live on the channel. I'll be live streaming it, doing live commentary, just like Windows 11's thing, so tune in there. But we have rumors of Surface Duo 2 coming, maybe a Surface Pro 8, which is like, looks like that's the teaser image. Hopefully it is Surface Pro 8 finally. We had Surface Book. We had Surface Book patents that leaked as well that I looked at on the channel. So hopefully all those things that were leaked or talked about are actually coming on September 22nd. And doesn't mean I'm going to get my hands on all of them, but there's a chance that I probably will figure out some way to put some content out relating to those kind of topics with Surface devices and things like that, as well as other PCs as a whole, maybe some PC building things as well, because I'm still upgrading this PC. And then other things too with hardware. I'm going to try to do I have some ideas similar to this Xbox Connect that I was looking at before, my old Xbox version 2, Xbox Connect version 2. That I was doing videos about just because I was curious on it. I have some deeper dive things I'm going to do relating to those kind of hardware, not necessarily Connect. So stay tuned for that. There's just a number of things that the way I'm going to push this channel forward, it's not going to be in traditional. If you want traditional tech video where you just look at a device or look at an app review or look at tech news as a whole, this channel is not for you. This channel is whatever stirs up in my clouded mind and gets spat out onto the channel, and that's what you see. So if you see a series of videos that come out and they're all about certain types of apps or certain types of hardware or certain hardware specifically, you know that was what was in my mind for like that month straight. So that's another thing. Another thing too is I'm finally going to be departing ways with this here Samsung Galaxy Note 10 Plus. I've had it for a couple years, and I think I'm going to upgrade to the Z Fold 3 in about 2 weeks or so. So stay tuned for some content on that Z Fold, the folding life on Android. There's just a number of things that I don't want to make the video too long because it's probably already too long as is, but I have a lot of things in my head from getting off the plane, a lot of ideas that came up. I spoke to a lot of like my sister does fashion stuff with her website, Glamazon Diaries, and she has a lot of friends who are also bloggers and reporters, and some of them even do tech, not just males either, male and female, and all kinds of people. So you're going to probably see some interviews with them on this channel, as well as I'm trying to figure out a way to get an interview with Panos Panay on the channel. Hopefully I can get it by the end of the year. Hopefully I can get it. It's going to be very hard to do that, but trying to get some of the heads of Windows and the heads of Microsoft on the channel for short interviews. And another thing, speaking of interviews coming to the channel, as you know, I've been doing app reviews, like I said in the very beginning. That's how this channel started. But I've been doing app reviews by me as an artist, designer, looking at your or that person's app and seeing what's good and bad about it and how they can fix it to be better. But one thing that we never got, and I never got feedback from other than through text message, was the insight of the developer themselves after the fact. So I just want to announce that I will be conducting these interviews with the developers themselves, getting to the mind of the developer, the mind of the creator of the app on the channel as well. So when some app reviews come out later on, you'll have the insight, the developer insight of it, which will be me talking to the developer. You guys will see and hear, so they can put what came into their mind when they were creating their app and how they thought about putting things here and there, how long it took and things like that. Because I think that's really interesting to people who are watching this channel and are aspiring to make their own app but don't know where to start. Look at developers who have made an app and they worked with a group of people that they didn't even know, created a community together, UWP community, for example. I think that'd be really core to that. You know, even though I don't know coding, for those people who do know coding, the developer talking to the developer could help you out a lot about organizing your thoughts and things like that to publish your own app. Even if it's not on the Microsoft store, it could be on the Android store, the Google Play store, it could be on the Amazon App Store, iOS App Store, who knows. But that's coming. That's something actually is coming very soon. Yeah, so to close out this video, since I think it's been about 8 minutes of me rambling one shot straight through, going back to when I said I have some Surface Duo stuff coming. As you know, I got rid of my Surface Duo almost a year ago because it was so much money. You know, I don't get review samples about anything, so I purchased it on my own, but it was so much money, and at the time updates were just, it just wasn't good for what I wanted out of $1,500. But now you can get them for like $400 and less, you know, even though they're locked to AT&T. So I am going to do a special high production video. Hopefully it's high production. I don't want to stretch it out too long. High production video featuring the Surface Duo's infamous camera, the camera that people still unanimously say is pretty bad, but I'm going to do a high production video with this camera. And the idea behind it is that it is not the camera that makes the piece of work that you use out of that camera sensor good. It is the person behind the camera. And so me being a photographer and videographer, or mainly photographer by trade, a lot of people have come to me for like, hey, can you take this picture for me? Hey, my camera's not very good, this and that. And then I take the picture and they're like, oh man, it's so good, how'd you do that? Oh, it's because you're a professional photographer. I'm like, eh. So the idea is doing it that way, only this is video. So stay tuned for that. I don't know exactly when it'll come out. Let's say sometime in October that will come out. I'm going to start filming and shooting it in my area here within the next couple weeks. So stay tuned for that major thing. I hope you guys will enjoy it. And yeah, let me close out this video now. The rambling is over. Hope you guys enjoy everything on the channel so far. I'm very grateful that all of you guys who pushed into me. All of so far, I just saw that I crossed 400,000 views on YouTube, essentially in a year, which is amazing. You know, nothing crazy viral or anything like that. I want to thank all of you across the country, across the world, all cultures, background. I just want to thank all of you for tuning in to the channel, going through some of my rambly bits, going through some of my like major highlights and things like that, my live stream that I did for the Windows 11 event. I just want to thank all of you for tuning in, and stay tuned for more. There's a lot more coming. My mind has so many ideas that is going to be pushed out there related to arts and technology in the Microsoft world. So stay tuned for all of that coming in the future. And cheers to, 1,500 subscribers, all 1,500 of you, plus those of you who want to subscribe but probably forgot to. So cheers to you guys, and I'll catch you guys later. My name is Kwaku.